Howdy, Night City. Welcome back. My guest tonight is Lieutenant Sarah Kokoski, spokeswoman for the NCPD. Hi there. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Zuki. Thanks for having me.
I hope you made it to the studio without any issues. No carjackings or drive-bys along the way.
No. Fortunately, the streets of Night City are getting safer every day. We've seen recorded homicides drop from 7,103 a year ago to just...
Hold on. The streets are safe, you say, but what about the highways?
I'm sorry?
You heard about the shooting off the Route 1 exit, I trust. Half an hour before any response team arrived on the scene. Over 700 rounds fired in that time. What happened? Where are the gunmen now?
Well, the NCPD is responsible for the safety and security of all citizens within the city limits.
Sarah, sweetheart, don't feed us some NCPD script. Be honest with our viewers. When will they finally be safe? When will they no longer need to carry a concealed weapon for a trip to the...
Sit. You do not look so bad. Then, in the car, I doubted you would survive.
This about the biochip? That why I'm here?
I hear it's damaged beyond repair. Any attempt to extract it would be disastrous. Fatal for you.
Vic likes to talk, I guess.
Not many could do what he did. You should be thankful.
Why'd you help me anyway?
I needed you to leave. That hasn't changed.
What's it you actually want from me?
To begin, you must tell me where to find Evelyn Parker.
Evelyn. What's she to you?
She and Yorinobu Arasaka had intimate relations. She knows how to get to him.
Been thinking I ought to have a word with her myself. She promised to help me get rid of the chip.
I would not count on that. She's likely gone, very far away.
Why do you figure she skipped town?
I tried to locate her, but had no success. I suspect she covered her tracks. You said Parker could help you remove the relic. Does she work for a corporation?
Suspect so, yeah. Evelyn was knowledgeable about the relic. Had a large chunk of classified info. An enigma, to be sure, but she showed that slyness you get in corpo agents. You know the kind.
I too possess this slyness you speak of.
You got tossed out lumped with the outcasts, easily. Or have you forgotten?
There's no time to waste, B.
Sorry, I couldn't be of any help. Don't have any time to lose.
B, wait. I need you. Yorinobu Arasaka must answer for this crime of patricide.
Looking for justice? In Night City?
I seek revenge, much more feasible here. I have allies prepared to bring Yorinobu to his knees. The only thing I need is proof.
And you think they'll trust the word of a merc?
I have nothing better now. Also, I know no one here. And I am a fugitive. I am hunted.
So what, we stroll into Arasaka HQ and announce that Yorinobu's a kin killer? That he murdered Saburo?
We'll get the hearing before reasonable people in a neutral location. Certain procedures will be used to establish the truth.
A lie detector? Forget it.
In that case, another option. You are dying. You do not know how to save yourself. A chip, the relic, is a culprit. Technology made by Arasaka. Technology they alone know. This corporation can save you as easily as it can make you disappear. It is merely about getting the right people on your side. Politics. V?
Exactly what kind of people are we talking about?
People who hold Arasaka dear are its heart. People interested in the corporation's stable growth.
You mean people like Anders Hellman?
You know this name? How?
Prepped for the heist thoroughly. Relic is Hellman's design, his creation.
And true, he's a pawn. I was thinking of one much more powerful. Besides, Anders Hellman escaped to Arasaka, betrayed it.
Becoming a world-leading corporate giant. Hanako-sama, お会いできて光栄です。
こちらこそ。
Now, Hanako-sama, I would first like to ask you.
Fucking Saka scums everywhere.
Hey, I was listening to that.
Shut up. Nobody except you wants to watch that shit about that corpo cunt.
What did you say?
Let
You
it go,
heard me.
Takamura.
At least one of you's got some fucking sense.
Last thing we want to do is draw attention.
I'm sorry. A stupid reflex.
Thanks for the offer. Need to think about it. Get back to you.
I need time to plan, organize. You stand to gain much if you help me. All I ask is that you do not leave the city.
Leave? Why would I leave? Need help. Best chance I'll find the right person here.
Someone other than Arasaka specialist? There's no one. No alternative.
Actually, we just talked about some. With a bit of luck, I'll track down Evelyn.
If she could not help you before, she will not manage to now.
Honor among thieves. Ever heard of it?
Yes, I thought it ironic. Thieves have none. There's just honor, I believe.
Yorinobu Arasaka degree, I'm sure.
The Parker woman will not help you. Were I you, I would think about a plan B. There's no time to waste, V.
Anders Hellman. He invented the relic. If I want to get rid of it, he's my man. And if that means picking another fight with Arasaka, so be it.
Hellman defected from the company. I myself spent many days looking for him. He... what's the expression? Dropped off the face of the earth.
Somebody's been busy the last few days.
I will not sit and do nothing when there is information to be found. Things to prepare.
Your job, basically.
It was my job.
Why are you looking for Hellman?
He was the one to alert Saburo-san to Yorinobu's schemes. He knew both of them well and could be an important witness.
Corpo rats squeal when hanging by their tails.
For several days, I collected the information. All leads point to one place, the club called the Afterlife. I was quickly dismissed by the queen of fixers there, Rogue.
She take you for a suit?
No, she saw me as Saburo-sama's killer.
Rogue's well informed. Gets wind of most things that happen in the city. Might be worth asking her about Hellman.
I wish you luck. The woman is choosy, expensive, and rude. I cannot stay here any longer. Do what you want. Look for Parker, Hellman, whoever. I must see some friends, call in some favors. When my people in Arasaka are ready to listen, I will call you.
Till then, I guess.
If by some miracle you find Hellman, please notify me. He and I have unfinished business.
Zapper dumples and filth. In some ways, Night City never changes. Arasaka's still a despotic machine and the world's on a collision course with chaos. But hey, at least Rogue's still alive.
Leave me the fuck alone!
You don't need to speak out loud to talk to me.
What do you want from me?
Are you still upset about the other night?
You tried to kill me!
Well, I gave it some thought and changed my mind. Don't want you dead anymore.
Fuck off, you psychopath!
Hey, wasn't easy for me either. You woke up in a landfill, I woke up in your head. Wrestling with your thoughts, memories. Think we're even. And I've taken a step back, looked at things. Think we might be able to help each other. We could start with Rogue. Her and I go back to the Stone Age.
Why should I trust you? Remind me again?
Trust me, don't trust me. I don't give a fuck. It's the least of our worries, anyway.
You are the ghost of Christmas past, asshole. Any friends you've had are either dead or so old their memory's gone.
Johnny Silverhand died a legend. Nobody forgets that.
So you fucking know Rogue. What would I say to her? I got a talking brain tumor claims it's her old friend Johnny?
Trust me, Rogue's heard dumber shit than that. Way back when you weren't even an itch in your daddy's ballsack.
Don't need convincing. Seen your memories. Gross.
Rogue will dance to any tune I play her. Just get us to the afterlife.
There is no us.
Like spins, and the more enemies or well more hits you get in, the higher the damage buff provided will be by visibility. So if you only got less than 5 hits in, that's going to be a droplet or a 10% damage increase. Tier 2 is 5 to 10 hits.
Either gone completely whacked or I'm having a mystical moment.
What's that chick's name? The one with the hair?
Misty? Nah. More likely a neuron misfire for Victor to check out. Or maybe ask them both.
That's going to only give it that 10% increase, 50% for the second. However, if you got full river flow or full 10 hits with a previous skill, now you get to apply both the 30% damage increase and a stacking bleeding debuff on every enemy affected. And this is why I said you're not forced to go with the combinations that the game offers you. You can pick combos and over your story. For example, one that I was getting choice was the Quick Spear. Play like that damage coming and get the home. Next will be so in this case I can start with the blade control as I take that hit with special ability, swap to the spear, which let me now play very easy 10 plus hits. It's exercise. So now that I got the button, it's very easy to then play special ability and now get all complete steps on every single type of throwing it.
But what they don't know, the real name for this thing they call cyberspace is actually pandemonium! What is life without its body? What are the beings of the net if not souls from beyond our plane of existence? I have heard their voices. Let they who yet live never cross that threshold.
This is Night City. No one's got a soul to lose.
Mock as you will, unbeliever. You shall see who laughs last as you're engulfed in hellfire. Satan himself!
See, now I'm skeptical. I heard the runner who wrote that Satan demon gave him a weak sense of humor.
You ask, who opened these unholy gates of the abyss?
No one's asking.
And I answered, the techno-necromancers of Alpha Centauri! I recognize you. You come here often.
I'll be honest, the CIA they're talking about this, for example, in hospitals, they're looking towards placing actionable agents that you're advanced. They want to make storage units for drastic societal change. Meanwhile, if train from capable action that's being covered across different cultures, and I'm trying to listen to the conversation. Trying to discuss the better about the things to French in China, which of course is now but the location of the malicious patterns between French units files expeditions called communist revolutionist the US or the CIA on the other side, China if we have Predator Shield, you can spam this relatively well. It's a shield that's equating to 25% of your HP for 8 seconds. Gives you some fighting spirit, which is basically your resource with this weapon that you can consume for special abilities. And there's also another version of the shield if you first have the drum beat effect from the spear. We're going to cover just a little bit. That gives you an even better damage buff and an even better synergy, but we're going to cover that via the spear in just a little bit. Meanwhile, for our special skill, we have the Sun Rush skill. Essentially, it's going to be a black wall of sorts. You draw all enemies in a pretty large radius, which you then follow up with a cross slash that typically flattens everybody out, and even gain the fortitude out of this, basically, self-control immunity. So the typical setup in this case would be starting out with a shield, which gives you the protection that you need. You go in and perform the special attack, draw all the targets in. This is also going to be flexible enough most of the time, and for 5 seconds after this, all of your charge attacks are also 50% quicker, so you can follow up with a light charge or a heavy charge, whichever of these you want, to absolutely destroy all of these targets that get affected. Absolutely very devastating and fun to play with as a play style, especially for an Elden Ring type of player like myself. However, this brings us to the next spear, which couples really well with this, and that's going to be the Stormbreaker. So this is going to have some pretty interesting effects for itself. In terms of attacks, once again, they seem to be rather similar to that of the previous spears, with some key differences. One is that your charge attack with this one is going to be another series of, well, basically flurry of thrusts, much quicker than that of the Heavenstraker spear, but with an added fact that this is now going to give you a drumbeat buff. So this is pretty useful. It gives a 15% damage increase to skill charge attacks and gives us some crowd control immunity. However, we can essentially double this when combined with the shield from the whole blade. So let me show you what I mean by that. If I were to just use the shield on its own, it only gives me the shield. Similarly, if I only were to use the heavy charge attack on the spear, I only get a 15% damage bump. However, if I start with the spear charge attack and get the drumbeat effect on, and then quickly switch to the mole blade, now you will see that my Q, or the shield attack, gets empowered. So if I press it while still under the effect of the drumbeat, I get a stronger version of it that now also provides a 30% charged skill damage buff instead of just 15%. So as you probably realize, this is going to provide a perfect synergy with one another to unleash the highest possible amount of damage and really get those high damage numbers up against the targets. It's one of my preferred ways of playing, but there are other things that the spear can also do for you. So one of that is going to be the martial arts skill called Stormrover. This is essentially a taunt. Yes, one of the few taunt mechanics in this game. So this is going to bring us to the soul-shaped umbrella, and like the previous weapon, this actually has some extra units in it as well, both via the light and the heavy attack buttons. For the light attack, like in the case of all umbrellas, it's going to be a range of projectiles that can hit the target, not really high damage, but still makes you a little bit more useful. Interesting is that the final hits in the light attack chain does a very good job at interrupting enemy attacks, even the red ones, so relatively speaking, it's pretty decent at keeping enemies far away from you. For the heavy attack, we have a couple of them. We have both the regular heavy attack, which is giving you some space to the target, or the charge one, which you can hold down by keeping button press, and this is going to help with something really big. This is going to help extend the exhaustion status of the target. So just to show you an example, if I were to get this target exhausted and then hold down the charge button against it, you will see that the exhaustion meter doesn't deplete just yet. So theoretically, you can hold off the stun duration for a lot longer, time in which your other party members may have a longer time to hit the target and squeeze in even more DPS. So this provides a lot of support. And speaking of support, the Q ability also does that. Not only is it going to be a healing the martial arts skill, also gives you and everybody else a 15% damage increase, which is really nice. Plus, it synergizes with the Mystic Arts of the Panacea fan. It says here it increases the Mystic Arts by 20%, so it counts with the healing you have both of these at the same time. And finally, on the special skill, this is going to throw the umbrella into the air, and you're going to gain the special effect out of it, which is a healing over time, plus increases the Q-drop generation over time. So you can have this active and then switch to the Panacea fan and continue healing there. Your healing gets empowered by 15%, and you get more Q-drop generation. And after testing this, from level 1 to 60, 60 plus, you can actually stay in the middle of the entire groups of enemies, and you will not perish. Unless it's a boss encounter from the main story, you get reduced healing if you finish that off, so definitely not worth it as well. Was able to say survivability and everything else is just off the charts with these skills. Sucks with the higher skill ceiling section of today's video, and we have a real solid one.
Your eyes tell me that your mind has opened to the truth. Will you provide a humble donation so that I may continue my mission?
You do good work. Use this to wake Night City up.
Thank you for your devotion. I saw a disciple of truth in you from the very beginning.
Saw a weird image out on the street. Seems like your line of work.
What it look like?
Grab this and take a look.
Tarot. Major Arcanum. What you saw was a sign from a higher power.
What now? Major Arcanum?
Tarot card, archetype, knowledge held in symbolic form, a stage in your journey through life. Take your pick.
Either way, you're saying some higher powers talking to me through tarot cards?
Or to Silverhand. Or both of you, seeing as you form a harmonious whole at the moment.
Be a little easier if this higher power learned to be direct.
Well, the world is a maze of illusions. It's not easy for the light to shine into the prison of our earthly existence.
Great. So, what do I do with a sign I can... Still don't know?
Come on.
Hey, good to hear you. Finally. Been a long time since we talked. Since when Jeffrey passed away.
Calling to offer my condolences.
Offer your condolences. Ay, Jesucristo. You lived under our roof. Have the decency not to treat me like some stranger you just met. I was going to call you. I prepared an ofrenda for Jaquito. We can't let him go without a proper goodbye. The ceremony will be at the Coyote Cafe. Many of his friends will be there.
Say no more, Mama Wells. I'll be there.
I did not doubt it for a second. Ahí te veo.
It's not something he's talking about or even thinking about at this moment in time. I can assure you of that. It's teamwork.
Caroline Newman is asking if Donald Trump spent days or hours with Donald Trump hang out at Epstein's house live, where they were victims present, where they were not victims present, just sending us emails that were released and because you all claim everything is a hoax. We just want to know is, did he hang out with Epstein at Epstein's house with victims present? And then Caroline Newman said the emails were absolutely nothing. That wasn't the question, Caroline. Listen to the question. Oh, wait, if you answer it, you may be incriminating Donald Trump. You're going to slip.
Other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Long Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was identifiable story. And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it. Virginia Guthrie. It was CBS's Paul Guthrie. Guthrie maintained, I may God rest her soul, that she maintained that it was negative and she never witnessed that President Trump was always extremely professional directly to her. And so I think it's a question for asking the Democrat Party and the Asian all class briefing of why they chose to redact that name of the victim who has already publicly made statements about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and is unfortunately no longer with us. Very good.
don't know me, but you will. Name's Tino. Deal with downtown, city center.
V.
Yeah, I know. Heard about you. Odd stuff. Need anything, you call me. Remember, Tino knows everybody.
The Epstein files are going to be taken from the release of the Epstein files. So, a reporter says, so why are you doing that? If you claim you're being transparent, why are you having something like a discharge petition from the Epstein file? It's hard for me to like this one.
Reopening because of Republicans and President Trump getting their base sufficient for that. He and Representative Cooper an effort to try and get Republicans to not sign this petition, calling for the release of transparency that members of
Yo, Lee, got this client, Larry Fangor. Says his partner Adam elbowed him out of this. Club called out. Larry wants back in. Hey, we're here to help, right? What can I say? Club industry's always been a meat grinder. Attach the deeds for you.
This was a fun club.
I could offer you a booth for a private dance, or a home
that does not show transparency. That quite literally shows a cover. People gaslight and lie about everything. And again, I don't care what political party you're from. Even if you don't care about politics at all.
Today we're looking at the story behind every killer's stuffing cosmetic. Let's get into it.
Welcome. Please go right ahead.
In the White House, covering up great child sex trafficking.
He looks younger and more human. He has the hair, his skin is a regular tint, and he even wears the same white shirt he does in his book. Therefore, what this is the entity's first torture of Adam to shove him into the drinking in his
And said, and I quote, "Your daughter is entitled to a Christian burial." Well, that sounds to me like it was intended to provoke an incriminating response.
Mrs. Coleman confessed in her own church. No reasonable person could think that she wasn't free to walk away.
After 4 hours of continuous dialogue, who knows what a reasonable person might think?
Well, I consider myself fairly reasonable. I need to hear testimony on the custody issue Thursday morning.
He came to my apartment. He told me we were going to retrace my steps.
Was your husband there?
Yes. But Detective Curtis said he should stay behind.
And did he?
Yes.
And then where did you go?
First we went to the park. We sat on a bench and talked.
Did he ask you questions?
Yes.
Did you ever say you wanted to go home?
Yes, I said I should be with Keith, my husband.
I wanted Detective Curtis.
He said that this was important. He said that we should go to the church.
Elliot, this is very important. Did you feel free to leave Detective Curtis at any time?
No. He was a policeman. He said it was important that I go with him.
Thank you.
open the furnace?
I did. She told me she put her there.
What did you do then? Represent my client with zealously. Within the bounds of the law. You can't raise something in opening argument you can't possibly prove during your case. Or did you miss that in Blanche's class?
Nice try, Mr. Fine, and artful.
I asked you to declare on this one.
I will instruct the jury to disregard the defense's opening in the article.
Well, if that's the case, I'd like to change the plea to not be convicted. Out of the question. The statute requires 60 days notice for an insanity. I didn't know that. Look, you're my first homicide trial. Take things up. You can't hold that against my client. Legal incompetence. Defense and trial. Yeah. You don't allow for change. My client will have an appeal on the 6th Amendment ground. She'll win too, because I'll sign affidavits enumerating the 12 grievous errors I've already made. he actually said that. Did the girl know what she did wrong? In some sort of abstract way, yeah. So you that's part of the mistake we say to remember. Yes. You gotta see another own baby for any one of us who love it. I have to explain a lot of you, Claire. Crazy is not the same as weekly is same. Jack, I'm just saying that the main complicated is incomprehensible to me. Sure, that is my wife. She isn't sick. Please. Then what are we doing? Jack.
Oh, Claire. Substitute psychology for morality and our jobs become obsolete.
But Jack, jury, why she question?
Maybe she was just downright bad.
You actually believe that?
With all due respect to the professionalism, I think it's been overplayed at the point.
So people are just good or bad, period.
It's better than healthy or sick. Denying evil, you deny responsibility. From the jails, send everyone to you. We got married when we finished high school. And we were together till maybe 4 months. I don't know. Maybe we were too young. We spent all the time with Rachel. I needed a wife. Leah, my mom. Beth. She quit her job to stay home. She stayed up all night with Rachel and she was sick or crying or something. Well, I can't believe it. Together, did Leah ever seek psychiatric help? No. You ever suggest that she should? I never, but never thought she needed it. I'm not a doctor, how would I know? When was the last time you saw her? Before the death of your daughter? You didn't notice anything wrong with your wife at that time, did you? No, maybe. I didn't really. I mean, she was... If you thought she was sick or convulsed, why would you have left her alone with your daughter? I love Rachel so much.
Leah was a regular member of our congregation.
I don't believe it!
That's what I'm fucking talking about. Get in, install what you need, get out like it ain't no thing. Gig is closed.
See? The hardest. Who's that?
Stayed in this bed for the last couple of weeks. Lousy. Yeah, he got the 2 strikes on his girlfriend. They used to come in together, but she called me about 2 weeks ago. Wanted to change time.
That girl from the almost going to pay for it.
What happened? You got off to go to Vegas.
You're saying it was all one of the students.
I was at his place on Sunday a couple of weeks ago. He went out to get the paper. Phone rang. I heard the message on the machine. Sounded like it. She was sorry she'd gotten into trouble. He said it wasn't her fault. She tried to keep it secret, but the thing about it was theirs. I got it.
I thought the girl. He's taken from the old school. He was lost because he was just one.
But the first male looks like he's okay. So you better cut out some of these guys. PCR test gives me their
That kind of that bad. Yeah. Go ahead. Right. Give me the address. Okay, thank you very much. Well, that's kind of Maddie Breaker. Like, what kind of trouble does a girl man get in over 16?
And the girl first might say this was wrong.
The love life is a 16-year-old girl. That's a good one.
These men, I told your mother it wouldn't take long. I don't think I get samples of it, but I really doubt. Recognize the place. This is the I didn't bring you down here to look at mugshots. And then I do want to talk about your relationship with Richard Kovac. He's called an asshole. One of his friends. Alright, I better get your mother. This is a murder investigation, and you're a material witness. The less you cooperate, the worse it gets. Wait. Don't bring my mother. The call wasn't about what you think. I wasn't sleeping with Mr. Kovacs. Then what was the call about? Mrs. Aronson was my advisor. She called me in a couple weeks ago because I was getting A's in advanced math. She knew I wasn't a math genius. Last year I was getting C's and D's. She wanted to know what the deal was.
And what did you tell her?
She was like you. She thought I was slutting Mr. Kovacs for good grades. She said she was going to go to the administration. I said it wasn't true. I was buying grades for Mr. Kovacs.
Excuse me?
I was giving him $300 a semester. I had to bring up my GPA, or forget about Vassar. I'm not the only one, you know. I can name at least 6 other students in my class. She said she was going to speak to Mr. Kovacs.
I've been teacher of the year 5 years running. I know how to motivate these kids.
You know how to pick their pockets. We talked to some of Manny's friends. They all tell the same story.
7 kids, 3 bills each a semester. That's over $4,000 a year. Kind of the kids we don't know about. I think I should talk to him.
Open up.
You say the word,
We know you were in there.
we'll let you make a call. Right after we book you for bribe receiving and murder. That's absolutely crazy. I left that school at 6:30. Dr. Saplow saw me leave. Ask it. We did. That just means you came back later.
You're dead mean, Richard. You left your blood all over that classroom. What'd she do, smack you in the nose while you were strangling her?
Look, I'm no negative. You check. It can't be my blood.
Thanks for your cooperation, Richard. It's my duty to inform you that your blood type matches the type found at the scene.
But that's impossible.
Stand up, Mr. Kovacs.
Would you let me explain? Oh, what, you don't want a lawyer? Oh, no, I want to clear this up.
Haven't heard from you.
Sarah found out what I was doing. I made a deal with her. I stopped taking it. Did you stop taking it? Yes. I told the students that he was off. I told them that Sarah Harrison was the one who pulled the plug on this show. A few days ago, Sarah told me she got it. There's notes left on the desk. She wanted to know who was responsible for writing the note. She said classes had been anyone of 30 kids.
Vice President last year. It's one of many valedictorian. Never suspected this. We did heinous rates for the judge. He still wouldn't sign off on the search warrant. Did you think there was someone else? Doesn't help. None of these kids has ever been printed. In other words, we're stuck. We got the plan, the scheme. We can't force these things to give us a second.
Been a while.
Yeah, he found a predisposition to diabetes. Diabetes can be detected by looking for a high sugar in urine.
Way to be a
You still need a
Oh, what? So I'm the bad guy? I'm not the one who's holed up playing the attention.
You lost a friend.
Yes,
Can you
them
blame him?
conduct a drug test of the rest of them.
He's not the first or the last. It's called life.
Report said someone had known him. I was the testing of high school athletes without.
What's going on? I live right upstairs.
So keep on living. Stop minding other people's biz.
Mendez, hold on. It's his neighbor.
Is there anything I can do?
That's him.
Maybe.
You know Barry
That's
at
the way
all?
to make him very
More or
intelligent.
less.
These
Struck up a
children have
convo
rights.
once or twice.
Education here in
He's
their
a friend
first
from the
place.
precinct.
By the
Left the force not long ago. He broke down after his best friend died. We're worried he'll
Well,
do
we're in a
something
full
stupid.
screen on all the students.
As high schools go, this one's very clean. Only 2
Barry's got
positives.
nerves.
One for THC and one for alcohol.
Just a spiteful old
Sugar.
bastard.
Mendez!
Mother warned me
You
one
checking
day
in
the
when he's
sugar
chilled
police
down?
would show up. Yeah, well, we finally got here. So, did you find them?
Sure, why not?
Actually, never
Not
get
like
a
we're
positive
miles
read for
apart.
alcohol. We run another test to determine if the source is
Just
external.
be patient.
Correct.
Cops falling in rough times can be
There's yeast in the
touchy.
urine and an abundance of
I'll
sugar.
see what I can do.
Let's go. Body looks like a still. Here we go. Dipstick number
Hey, Barry?
16. Presence of
Everything all
alcohol
right in there?
Abnormal high sugar count.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Number 16.
Try again
Red
later.
Hastings.
Tell me what he did. I have a place to go. Stay out of the way, Mr. Hastings. And be careful. Matt Hastings, you're under arrest for murder of Sarah Harris. You have the right to remain silent. Steve, you do the same can, and we'll be used against you on a court of law.
Yeah. I hadn't expected to look out your window and see Tiananmen
All
Square.
right, let's see what you got.
We don't put people, much less children, behind bars.
He's a political prisoner? Alice, please. Bill Kunzler is spinning in his grave.
Had a suspect. In fact, you had 2. Kovacs and Camarillo. Why go after my client? Simple. He expressed a point of view you didn't like.
His crime was the baddest point of view. It was about pumping out his grades. Sarah Harris had gotten away, so I'd have to work a little
Part of big deal. The only reason I paid Kovacs is I got lazy. I don't really check my math scores for the past 3 years. A's and A minuses, same as all my courses. That's enough.
Mr. McCoy, Matt didn't kill anybody. He was at home with me.
If you were my son, Mr. Hastings, I'd probably say the same thing. Now, if he tells me others were involved, I might convince a judge to go easy on him.
Can I ask for a handout?
You should. Got his fingerprints on one of the notes.
Just trying to scare her off. We matched his blood to the blood on the scene. His principal told us he has a keen smell. I borrowed it from Miss Miller.
She told me you didn't. If you're going to kill me, you should advertise the fact that you're guilty.
I'm not fired.
It's egregious as violating the Fourth Amendment, which you did when you stuck Jarvis fluids under a microscope. Motion to suppress the drug test results.
That's my mind. In Vernonia, the Supreme Court allowed drug testing to combat illegal drug use in public schools. It did not intend the test as a subterfuge to identify murder suspects.
There's been a properly conducted search for illegal drugs.
They were looking for drugs, but they came up with diabetes.
Predisposition for diabetes was in plain view, Your Honor.
Under a microscope.
Defendant tested positive for alcohol. The lab ran routine tests to find the source of the alcohol. That's how they found he had a high sugar level. I'm playing here to beat Miss Mosdale.
Your Honor, the Vernonia ruling sanctioned random testing. There was nothing random about this test. I refer to Exhibit C of the moving affidavits, the statement by the lab technician who conducted the tests. When the samples were collected, the officers singled out which individual they were interested in, namely my client.
The officer simply asked the identification number of Mr. Hastings' specimen. There was no intent to corrupt the testing procedure.
Here,
Bunker.
Push the envelope to the funds. Granting the motion, the test results are out. Your Honor, since the results led to my client being charged and further evidence being collected,
Yes,
they are...
Charges are dismissed.
These officers, a couple of chatty Catholics.
We were looking at the bottom of the bag, Adam. The drug test was all we had to go with.
Still have the threats, still have motive. Built the house again.
Right. In your book, the threats might have been juvenile hyperbole, but not what the police found in his room. His she's a Aryan Times magazine. Racist literature downloaded the internet. White power music.
Yes, Wagner.
Won't be hearing this in the press. Boy, let's start partying.
Shot.
You have an alibi?
His father. It's his father's now.
I was doing home care in Kew Gardens that night. I came back just before 11. Joe was watching the music, and I was in town.
daughter, where was she?
Had a sleepover at a friend's house.
But she didn't have any home.
Yeah, my husband told me, and I know my own son. He's nothing like they say in the papers. Those people think we're all anti-Semites.
Those people?
You know them.
His son was talking about in your book.
We should finally get a rise out of people. I mean, look at that school. How do you think he feels? He's a minority.
What about the hate letters you found in his room? Who was that aimed at?
He reads a lot. It's just a curiosity. He doesn't have a problem with Jews. For God's sake, he was seeing a Jewish girl.
No, I think he's an anti-Semite. When he was with me, he had admired Jews. He was always going on how intelligent we were. The first couple months, it was kind of flattered. And then some of the stuff he told other people got back to me, like how he was just with me because he thought it was good for his image. Could be some male trust something. It wasn't that. It was because I was I thought it would help him get over with the other Jewish kids at school.
That you?
So that was fun to me.
I thought you were.
Yeah. It is if you want to become class president and a bunch of other stuff that looks good on a college application.
Thought it was
It
game over.
works. Last month we got early admission to Princeton, full scholarship. Thanks to you. Is that where you guys broke up?
Heard about the heist, I take it. Must have
He denied
talked
you.
to Evelyn.
He blamed all the other Jewish kids for telling lies about it. He said they were just jealous.
Listen,
It was just
need to
so
find out.
typical of him. You know, he never took responsibility for anything.
Know where she is?
Lauren, you never answered my first question. Is he an anti-Semite, or is it like his mom says, it's just an act?
Can we meet? Let's meet,
No, it's
please.
no act.
You at
I mean, I
Lizzie's?
know where he gets it from. From parents. One time his dad started asking me about this family, the Abrahamsons. Like all us Jews were supposed to know each other or something. And he said that they cheated him out of his printing business and that it was their fault he couldn't afford to send Nat to prep school. It was just so stupid. Even though I know how Matt feels about Jewish people, I just can't believe he could have killed Mrs. Aronson. Niles and Ashton, I mean, I could have totally imagined them doing it. Those guys are scary. What about Eddie Camarillo? He just follows Matt around, and they've been friends since freshman year. They do crazy stuff together. They used to break into the school on Saturdays to lift weights. How'd they get past the alarm system? Well, Eddie had a key made on the machine at his dad's store.
You gave him the key, Eddie. That's how he got out after he killed Mrs. Aronson.
It's not true. I don't have a key.
Our witness says you do. That makes you an accomplice to murder. Whatever plans you had for the next 20 years, you better put them on hold. Now you serve up Matt Hastings, your future gets a little brighter.
I can't. I'm done with him.
Hey, be down with this. When Hastings talks about the blood people, what do you think that is? That's you, baby. It's you and me. We're the blood people.
You're wrong. My people come from pure Spanish blood, like Christian blood.
After they're done with the Jews, the blacks, the Asians, the Arabs, who's next? Sooner or later, the mailman comes to your gate. That man know.
Got a Soviet fixer in town. My client wants to show some hospitality. Get to know our unexpected
Mr.
guests.
Darrenson recognized
Go
my
to the
drone.
port and communicate. Pop a GPS
She
on
called
the
me in.
Conrad's ride.
She said to give us a chance to turn us
All the
off.
way from the USSR. More info
Matt said he lose his scholarship.
attached.
Said he was gonna talk to her. Give him my key. I never thought he was gonna hurt her.
Hey, come on.
I'll never doubt the law of averages again. Arrest someone often enough, and sooner or later it'll stick.
It had more to do with the law of inevitability.
Once we had Camarillo's testimony, Judge Busey had no choice but to readmit all the other evidence.
But I'm a gracious winner, Alice. If you want to discuss a plea, I'm all ears.
Sorry to get your testosterone bubbling, Jack, but this is just a courtesy call. Roy Payne, Jack McCoy, Claire Kincaid. Roy will be heading the defense.
Right, Payne. You recruited a Klan lawyer.
I don't belong to the Klan, Mr. McCoy. Wrote a few briefs in support of their march in Skokie. That's all.
It'll take more than brains to get this boy out of the woods.
Well, I doubt it. Our client's the innocent victim of a pernicious conspiracy to frame him and protect the real murderer.
And who would that be?
Richard Kovacs. The Jews got together to protect him. And I'll prove it.
If a judge will stop laughing long enough to let you.
Something tell me you hate racist groups. Back then.
Domestic patrol.
We cannot forget corporations are Night City's largest tax base, contributing $700 billion last year alone.
I've got this.
Yes, I won't deny that. But just what percent of their
No threat detected.
from the Kangtao Corporation. Well, maybe you'd care to tell us how much money you keep on the Cayman Islands. I don't know how many times I have to explain. My account.
I've got this.
And as soon as I found it, without your permission, do you take me for an idiot, Peralez? Please, let's keep this debate civil. I think everyone will agree. We'll be right back with our coverage of the mayoral debate.
Means they're welcome to stay. Anyway, this issue won't come up very often. Most of them are smart enough to avoid jury duty in the first place.
Saying that is enough. For as odious as I find Mr. Payne's position, bias is a relevant factor in jury selection. I'll allow his questions.
Payne's already in the win column. It's made the justice system complicit in his client's bigotry.
You mean his own? Only difference between Payne and Hastings is a law degree. Turn back the clock, he'd be drafting the house rules at Auschwitz. Get off the soapbox. Trying a murderer, not an anti-Semite. There's a lot of both. Well, I couldn't care less. Want this turning into a farce about who said the K word?
Hastings said it, I believe he meant it. He was probably saying it when he killed her.
Woman was lowering the
Silent,
against us.
just
How
like
she
in all movies.
killed her if her name
Except we
was
don't make
Kitty.
that sort of scratch, but
Make sure the jury knows.
right? Gig closed.
When we performed the RFLP test on the blood swatches taken from the scene and the blood taken from the defendant, we found the genetic code of the samples matched.
What are the odds that the blood you found came from someone else?
With this precise match, 1 in a million.
Mr. Rosen, the RFLP test first performed on the blood swatches from the crime scene before or after my client had been arrested.
Let's check. Looking at the dates, it was after he was arrested. Once a blood sample was collected from him at the central booking station.
Who brought the blood sample?
start looking for the suspect.
That's the reason why I don't like racist lawyers. Racist lawyers, yeah. They basically choose to pick one. Think they are smarter than the other.
Can you just leave?
Like to buy some iron.
So buy some. This it is not mine! None of this me!
What happened?
That
Your implants, they look half done.
Done or not done? It is of no importance. A bhikkhu does not defile his body through cyber modification. It is against the Platimoksha. And yet, they knew about this. For me, there is no return.
Hold on. Somebody forced you?
Not just me, my brother too. They drugged us, desecrated my body. And all the while, they mocked me. How can you do this to a fellow human being and still mock them?
How about your brother? He's still with them?
Yes, I was first. Then they were trying to decide how to modify him. You look like someone who can reason with these people. I beg you, please, help my brother. I only hope it is not too late. I do not wish for him to end up like I have.
Fine. I'll help. But just so you know, things might get ugly. Maelstrom doesn't mess around.
There must be some other way. Help us, please, but without any bloodshed. I beg you.
I'll see what I can do. Either way, your brother's getting out.
I do not know how to thank you. They're keeping him in a shop just north of here. You shall find it next to the road along the docks.
How poetic. A monk in distress. They should include this in your epic. What are you gonna do? Cross your legs and meditate till they drop dead?
Wish you'd drop dead.
Chubs, listen. What if instead of an arm, we chipped his iron? Every time he'd have to take a piss, he... And then he'll start a next-gen Buddhist fellowship of... Get this! Full metal monks!
Please! Dharma has brought me peace. Do not deprive me of it.
Open your flap again and I'll rip your tongue out.
So this is where they're keeping our fellow brother.
not do this. Incantation is against my beliefs. Please, I do not want them.
Calm down. It's over now. I'm not with them.
So, what are you doing here? What happened?
Glad I got here in time. Are you okay? Did they do anything to you?
I was lucky. They could not decide which implant would be funnier.
Cyber psychos. The lot of them.
Further questions?
One of them wanted to remove my jaw. The thought itself gave me
Now,
shivers.
Trump, you would have
Thankfully, did not get the chance. To what do I owe this?
You would have had some deniability with the dog that they fight back 4 times and continue deliberations. I mean, fine, you can't bark. Are you absolutely sure you're unable to reach a verdict? Yes, Your Honor. We are. Are there any further deliberations break this deadline? No, Your Honor. I have no choice. This is trial. And the members here on the jury dismissed to get to like the video. Counsel has extreme politics.
Intervention of yours?
Was hanging out outside of Arby's trying to improve Senate Democrat primary.
Was walking by and caught some lame jokes about metal monks. Think about Maelstrom.
Expects to secure signatures Wednesday to force a vote to release Epstein.
He didn't want the
After
same
weeks
thing
of
to
long
happen.
delays,
From
Reps
the bottom
Thomas
of my soul,
Massey and
thank you.
Wednesday on
I'm
the cusp of
especially
securing
grateful
enough
nobody
signatures
was killed.
to bypass GOP leaders
May you
and force
continue on the
agents
path of
to
peace.
compel the Justice
What
Department
compels
to
these
release all of
monsters
the files
is
in its
of no
investigation
consequence.
into Epstein. Rep.
It is not
Adelita
up to
Grijalva
us
of
to
Arizona,
judge
who
what
won
they
the seat of her late father in a September special
Yeah,
election, has vowed she'll be the 218th signature
How'd you
on
even
the
get taken
Nancy
there
and
now?
Connor's
Most people
discharge
avoid them
petition
like the plague.
after she's sworn into
We are here
office
as strangers.
around 4 p.m.
We wander
on
from place to
Wednesday.
place.
The number represents a
When we
simple
arrived in
majority of the
United
entire
States,
400.
we had no time to identify strangers.
Don't monks
Once a
live in
discharge
monasteries?
petition hits that magic
We
number of
used to be getting
218, the House
My
must
brother
act.
and I belong to a group
Those
that
7
calls
legislative days must pass before a vote
It is
can
an
be called.
interesting life. We have
Thank
met
you,
many
Ralph.
unusual people.
Now that the government is open,
There's no need for
we
sarcasm.
can
You know the world is dangerous. But if one takes no risks, one will never know what lies
days ago.
beyond
So
the front
finally,
door.
our national
I'm sure you
nightmare
understand.
is over in that regard, and that certainly can't be good
Your
for
brother's
Trump.
waiting for you.
Silver
Not far
linings.
from here.
Yeah,
First, I must
hey,
catch my breath,
okay.
and then I shall go.
See?
It is him who shall need saving now.
Look who's taking the righteous path. If you're so afraid of killing, maybe
Say
you
what
should
now?
become a monk.
The development comes on the same day the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released a Trump's email from Epstein to his associate Ghislaine Maxwell and a journalist.
As for
Trump
these
provided to the
fucks, you
panel
think they got all
by
this
the
gear
Epstein
by
estate.
sitting around
Epstein
going,
says in a 2019 email that Trump told
To get the effects. These are their stories.
Email says that specifically.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah, this thing. Hey, I think Donnie's ready for birth and government Yeah. Yeah, it's got a little bit of different energy in that whole speed party.
Democrats on the House Oversight Committee minutes ago literally released some emails that they say were written by Jeffrey Epstein that explicitly, specifically mentioned Donald Trump by name in a context that we really haven't heard before. Let's get right to Caitlin Collins, who's got this reporting. Caitlin, what are you learning?
Gonna need the names today.
Yeah, John, these are emails that show Jeffrey Epstein mentioning Donald Trump by name multiple times in private correspondence that he had with people, including Ghislaine Maxwell, obviously his longtime associate and accomplice, and also the author, Michael Wolff, in a time span of the last 15 years.
Now wait a minute, Michael Wolff, is that the same author who gave the interview saying that Epstein was just dropping photos of Trump's with girls on the table, like a draw board?
In the course of one of these discussions about Trump, he left the room and then came back holding in his hands
about a dozen Polaroid snapshots. Polaroids. And then he kind of like a deck of cards, kind of displayed them on the table. And there were specifically three that I remember. And this is now almost 10 years ago. So, but the three that I remember are two in which topless young women, and I don't know the ages of these women, but they are young, are sitting in Trump's lap.
And incriminating Polaroids on the table like he was playing spades in a rap video.
Now, these are coming out from the House Oversight Committee, and they had issued a bipartisan subpoena to Jeffrey Epstein's estate, John, as you know, earlier this year. And so they've gotten their hands on a trove of documents, and these are emails that included Jeffrey Epstein on them. They were sent either to him or from him that mentioned Donald Trump before he was in office and also while he was in office during his first term. And I want to walk you through these emails of what exactly we are reading in Jeffrey Epstein's own words in these emails that have been released by the House Oversight Committee. And in one of them, Jeffrey Epstein says, and I should note, Trump did not send or receive any of these messages. He's not a party to these emails, John, but these are emails from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. This is one from April 2nd, 2011, and in this email, Jeffrey Epstein writes to Ghislaine Maxwell and says, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. There's a name that's redacted, which the House Oversight Committee has said is a victim of Jeffrey Epstein's. Obviously, we have not been able to independently confirm that because her name is redacted from this email. But they say redacted, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. I'm 75% there." Ghislaine Maxwell responds to that email, John, and says, quote, "I have been thinking about that."
You said he spent hours in his house.
It's custom Trump Christmas cards.
Hours.
This
y'all was doing puzzles. Shoots and ladders. Is that what y'all was doing?
Deadbeat.
A little candy land.
United States facilities.
That's what that was.
6
hours.
Come on now, dog.
Come on, man. Now, excuse me, I may not be up on early 2010s Florida seer vernacular, but what is the dog that hasn't barked me? I don't.
Neighbors.
Like, I know the dog that doesn't bite, but the dog that hasn't barked. Now, Trump, you would have been better off if he said the dog that didn't bite. That you would have had some deniability with the dog that didn't bite. He didn't say you didn't bite. He said you didn't bark.
You're serving consecutive 25-year terms.
Daddy and his dog.
You know?
In the High Castle giving me some orders about some dog.
Oh, look, I got this from AI. The dog that didn't bark is a phrase from a Sherlock Holmes story, Silver Blade. The absence of an expected clue being evidence in itself. In the story, your silence during a crime implied the criminal was not a stranger to the dog, leading Holmes to the solution. Today, the phrase is used to mean that an event didn't happen, and the lack of that expected event can be a significant clue. So wait a minute. What you're telling me is that the fact that the was able to spend hours in the house with Trump is a clue.
This was a time span, and this was about 3 years after Jeffrey Epstein had accepted what is now known as that sweetheart deal that only got him a few months in prison, and something that came under a ton of scrutiny during Donald Trump's first term in office because of his then Labor Secretary Alex Acosta, who helped negotiate that plea deal, that sweetheart deal for Jeffrey Epstein at the time. And so that's the context of this came about 3 years after he had negotiated that plea deal.
Now, there definitely was that sweetheart deal that Jeffrey Epstein got under Trump's first term. What would be particularly incriminating is more leniency being given in his second term.
But the description fits Nick's clientele.
Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin's demanding answers after he says a whistleblower reported Ghislaine Maxwell is receiving preferential treatment in prison. Maxwell serving a 20-year sentence for a child and other crimes in connection with Jeffrey Epstein. The Bureau of Prisons transferred her to a minimum security prison after she met with the Deputy Attorney General. Now, according to Raskin, the whistleblower says she's getting what seems like concierge service. The Raskin's accusing the Trump administration of a corrupt misuse of law enforcement resources. ABC News Justice reporter Alex Mallon has the details. So, Alex, what privileges is Maxwell allegedly getting here?
Top flight luxury service refers to a very accounts from a whistleblower. He says that has contacted him from within the FCP private facility in Texas, where when Maxwell was moved in July following her trip to Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanchard. Some of the, it's basically bullet point format of the allegations of the treatment that she's receiving extends to personal favors essentially handed by that warden in order for her to meet with her legal counsel, other visitors. There's another allegation that she was granted access to puppies, become service dogs that are provided to people at that facility. Another where she is allegedly granted special access to workout facilities and after hours, so she won't have to interact with other inmates, and then she's receiving special deliveries of tailored meals to her cell, directly to her cell, from people they've said that they've heard from. One correctional officer within the facility in that CP Brian that basically says like they are shocked because she was.
So you said she was out there in prison in perks I can't afford on vacation. Is that what we're doing? While we trying to withhold SNAP benefits, she getting the whole concierge. Hey, man. I'm gonna need y'all to sort all of this out. And have nothing to do with protecting the victims and looking out for the working, all literally all of your virtues and ideals. Go ahead. The name is Maxwell. I say close the doors. Ushers, close the doors. And I would especially like to call to the floor this why can't y'all just comply? The culture is rotten. The criminality inherent in the culture, especially the black man. Yes, especially injustice. Right. Yeah. And by the way, I don't even need to go into all Trump pardons. Because there's always a new one.
And there's also other emails that have been released by the committee this morning, including between Jeffrey Epstein and Michael Wolff. Remember, Michael Wolff was the author who wrote a piece on the inner workings of Trump's West Wing back in 2018 during his first term. He is someone who has talked at length about his own correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein, published audio recordings of those conversations between the two of them. And in another email, this seems to be a reference to Donald Trump saying that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club. And Jeffrey Epstein writes to Michael Wolff and says, quote, Trump said he asked me to resign. And he adds, John, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop.
He just came out and said he of course he knew about the girls.
They got the guy that attacked him.
Wow.
Arrest back then?
And Trump actually references the fact that he kicked Epstein out of the club,
This.
knowing that this was out there.
I was 20.
That's the mastermind that we have elected. This is the kind of story
The big break was being pitched. Let's hope that the giant motherfucker who scrolled away. Gig's closed.
It's an address you swear. Absolutely. It's not that.
Donald Trump just wants to go away, and he's done a pretty good job, I guess, of telling stop talking about this. He kind of quelled that rebellion that we saw over the summer. There's a real belief that Speaker Johnson sent the House home when he did, in part just not talk about Epstein and not swear in that Arizona elect who is going to provide the decisive vote. So a couple of things here. I know you're still going through the emails, but this is, and we expect Johnson to do that swearing in later today. There's going to be more to come, right? And we should know Trump has long since challenged the credibility of Michael Wolff on other matters, but we'll see. He's getting these emails from Epstein, too. What else should we expect, not just potentially from these emails, but from what new material may still be coming?
Now, it was just a few days ago, with respect to the last Epstein reveal, that I posed the question to GOP representatives, what is it exactly that you need to see? And now, MAGA, I'm going to ask you the same.
Well, look, I mean, there's got to be more information that sheds light on Donald Trump's long-time relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Whether it's incriminating to Donald Trump remains to be seen, but it's got to be there in those emails and elsewhere in the files. And in fact, we know that Trump was told that his name was in the quote-unquote Epstein files, the unreleased information from the Justice Department. Again, we've always been told that there's nothing in that material that incriminates others to the point where they should have been charged. That's what investigators have always said, long before this became an issue of controversy. But you're absolutely right. As a political matter, it's just so interesting because the MAGA world has long believed that there's a conspiracy to cover up Jeffrey Epstein. Well, now the people who have control of the material is the Trump administration. And so, again, the MAGA folks have not turned their fire on Donald Trump personally. They've never had Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, the FBI director, for what they consider inaction and not releasing these files. And so far, the Justice Department's position is we're not releasing anything more. So, with this, as you said, this is a live political issue. The interesting question is going to be, do these emails or this other information cause anyone in the MAGA movement to start turning their attention to Donald Trump and asking him what he's hiding and whether more information should be released? So, if I can get straight, your position is that Pam Bondi and Cash Patel are going against Trump's wishes for full transparency in releasing the Epstein files and what inside despite all of the things see, they were going to exonerate him and releasing information and inside. Is that your position? And of course, naturally, if you want a full release of the Epstein files, you would, of course, be encouraging and very sensitive to the victims, right?
Yeah, I think that it's really interesting that these we have long established that Trump and Epstein have a close friendship, and we're seeing a deeper dive into what that might have looked like. And I think that it's important for us to remember that there were many high-profile men that were friends with Epstein, and I anticipate that we would see more information coming out also.
It's still a little unclear what's revealing now. E is Epstein again, writing in 2011 to Maxwell, quote, I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. And then Epstein refers to a victim that, quote, spent hours in the house with him. In a separate email with author Wolff in 2019, Epstein tells Wolff that Donald Trump, quote, explicitly knew about the girls that he claimed to stop. Is this new information to you?
Right.
I don't think it's new information to
What in the fuck?
I think that we have already seen he may have had an idea of whether Epstein was up to these things have already been
You okay?
His addition to
has concealed the 10th circle from the ancestors' eyes.
The hell is this?
Which shook Trump to his core to such a degree that he sued the Wall Street Journal.
Yes, I remember that. Where he went to the excuse of saying, "Oh, I don't even do drawings. You know what? I can't use my hands. I don't even, you know, I can't even do that. I can't write at all. I can draw. Oh wait, that won't be a problem with buying now, is it?
It strikes me as odd that this was a campaign promise of the president, and he has backpedaled on that. And so that's really concerning to me, and it's concerning to all of the survivors. We are victims of a crime, and the crime was trafficking, and we just want this crime to be prosecuted in a manner that we deserve. By our government's own admission, this is a crime that victimized over 1,000 girls and young women, and I just don't understand, you know, I don't understand how we can let this go on, and I think this is an issue that has been highly politicized when it's not a political issue whatsoever. Again, this is a crime. It's a crime of trafficking, and this case has been ongoing for over 5 administrations, and so to politicize it at this moment feels particularly hurtful to the survivors of this crime.
Now, the one thing I can tell you, Megan, the one thing to look for is the late Maxwell, the only person that has makes any judgment. And you, plus years service. If at a particular point she decides that that isn't cushy enough and it has a commutation, well, why would she have for a thing like that? Unless she against the administration. So if you see
She's 20 years. Not long after meeting with top DOJ officials talk about the Epstein case, she said she's going to there. To receive emails contained by NBC's. She constantly is for big Maxwell, but he certainly has a challenge in this like growing anger and frustration. Virginia Giuffre, Epstein and Maxwell's most prominent accusers. There this year, I spoke with her siblings of the president was here refusing to allow the Maxwell report. Jimmy heard the president say that again. She was very confident.
All but mentally, Mr. Munoz belonged in a hospital. He fought like hell to get him there.
What comes to his mind?
The royalties were split, Your Honor, between his former client, a popular young woman, and the man accused of brutally attacking her, a nuisance client that the court dumped into his lap. No one could expect him to be impartial.
The trial judge did, and so did Mr. Munoz. We heard testimony he was informed of the conflict.
The situation that we seem to have here is any further leniency. I think that the leniency she granted already is indicted, you know, using normal sense and logic, right? But certainly, now that we've already got to the point of her in camp after meeting with the administration, because that's not incriminating at all. Certainly, further leniency that would be given would be seen as an indictment of guilt. But then again, if it's refused, you run the risk of her deciding to use whatever information she might have. It's rough. That's a rough spot to be in. That is a rough spot to be in. Certainly not as rough as the victims that have never gotten any justice, which is where our minds should be, and yours too, MAGA. But the one thing I can tell you, Trump, is they on your helmet, and they gonna stay on your helmet.
We actually just received all of these emails, over 23,000 documents, actually a few days ago. So last week we've been going through, our team, of course, through all of these very carefully over the last few days. We obviously released some today. We'll be releasing additional documents likely later today. The important thing here is that we know that we've been demanding that Donald Trump and the DOJ release the full Epstein files. In what's been released today, which obviously is quite serious, I think connections between what Donald Trump may have known. There's communication between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, obviously making some claims about Donald Trump spending significant time, hours, possibly one of the victims. There's disturbing emails there about Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. The people can read for themselves. I think what's right now is that we are behind Donald Trump spent the entire campaign. See, these files. And now that he's in the White House, there is a massive cover-up going on. The survivors of the truth. Now, the only question that is left is who else will be incriminated by all of this? And yes, that might mean other people that were involved with Jeffrey Epstein, but it would also mean other people involved with obscuring the truth. You know, the fact that it took months for us to get to this point. And I did see in that article where it said that Republicans in the Senate might want to release the Epstein files, which of course would have been a sign of the Superjan screen and being the heart of all of this. But we've already seen like Johnson to swear in Catalina, and we saw him on his that's in front of Congress. This list is just
these emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. What President Trump has always said is that he was from the beach and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Until President Trump kicked him out. Here's the girl meeting with representatives doesn't it show transparency that members of the Trump administration are willing to brief members of Congress whenever they please? Doesn't that show our level of transparency?
Hey, haven't I seen you here before? Got a good memory for faces. Here for a good time.
Need to talk to Country Judy. She and her den.
That took place in the situation after the press briefing.
Take the stairs down. I'll let you
No, there's a lot of that. So much people watching.
your eyes on this. Tell me, baby, do I look at Dude is embarrassing herself.
I gotta give a quick shout out to my editors that have been absolutely killing it on the style as well as Boz.
You can sell the whole thing from your bedroom window.
Stop telling every joy toy you need to come here. What the hell I'm supposed to do with them all?
I don't. Must be our rep. Girls need help, they come here.
Last time I checked, we weren't running a shelter.
Come on, they all deserve a chance. Any one could end up useful. Give it some time. They'll pay for themselves.
Hey, chicks can barely take care of themselves.
Not when they're face down in the mud. But who knows?
I hate surprises.
Really feeling that sense of community right now. Sus, we're not done here.
Oh yeah, we fucking are.
You just don't give up, do you? Got nothing more to say to each other. Moxes and nomads don't seem so different. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity. Classic dilemma. What comes first? Family or the outside world?
Nobody cares about your lofty world views.
Better, her bartender. She was working at the Franklin pub. Yes, I mean, it's still in business. I'm here to tell you it is.
Have you seen Evelyn?
Started here 32 years ago. Finally bought the place.
Why? So you can make her your scapegoat for your train wreck of a heist.
Hey, cops in five, made in heaven.
Need to find out who she was
I was
working
living on a
for.
bar.
That's it?
I don't mind, Lenny.
That's it.
10 guys to every guy.
You don't need to worry.
Yeah, well, I used to come in here, it was all guys, too, except we had the Giants game on. So,
fine.
Why the interest in Cookie Costello? Now Munoz is up for a new
Evelyn's
trial.
a doll. Used to work at
How's that happen? It's a technicality. Anyway, we need some background on Cookie.
Take it.
Are we
Once you
here?
find Evelyn,
We're
give it
friends?
to her.
That's a crime? She was 22, had a nice figure. Might as well put some miles on it, huh? Was there anyone special she might have been intimate with that night? No. She was here the whole time. Look, I don't like to have fun.
Mega Tower.
But the last week she was here,
Curious.
she was getting her act together. She stopped smoking, stopped drinking, gambling. Hey, maybe she caught Billy Graham on TV. Excuse me. My experience is only two reasons why a woman drops her bad habits. One, a new man.
Think she might have gone back there?
She was stabbed all
Said
over.
it'd be safer than here.
The other DNA could have come from a baby she was carrying. And the question is, why didn't the doctors who patched her up catch it?
What's that?
They did. Said it was filed in the police report
Sounds
right next to a
vaguely
gambling
familiar.
conviction.
That where they tailor code things to your fetishes and whatnot?
Client subconscious is the script. Dog stars in it. No memory of it after, though, luckily. Thank Christ for that.
Wait, mean to say she's a doll?
Saved up for that behavior chip a while, too. Ev was good. Real good. Had regulars booked up weeks in advance. Nobody lasts long in a gig like that, though.
My parents were very
It's the
traditional.
heist. Figures. Got
That
everything I
because
need
of my
to know.
situation
Thanks.
didn't have the choices they
Wait.
have today.
You asked the police to leave it out of their report?
Just let me know how she's doing. Okay?
But the doctor
My
said...
father was there when they brought me in.
Give you a call. Okay.
The doctors told him about the baby.
Thank you, V.
He asked them if they could keep it secret for my sake.
A doll. Why am I not surprised?
You're an engram with a fading mind. Nothing should surprise you
Well,
anymore.
that's possible.
So we gonna hit this place, Clouds?
Not the baby's
Why the hell not?
I never told him. He was married.
We might need his name.
Bobby Farina.
Think I just woke up one day looking like this? This is real life. Not no
She was having an
fairy
affair
tale.
with him. It lasted
I'm a
less than
woman
2 weeks.
that
It's a
demands
shame.
sacrifice.
Why she never said
It's
anything.
hard work.
Issue is, how much does the other side know? She's been very good about keeping her secret. Paradise didn't know. Neither does Mark's.
You think he's not
What are you
telling much?
staring at? Got
He has
something
go
to
the
say?
forensics report
Say
himself.
it.
So then they'll know she was pregnant. Who the father was is none of their business.
Heated exchange there with Judy.
Do you
What
think
was that
we
all
ought
about?
to?
How's this any of your business?
Only if we put her on the stand.
Gonna follow up with your own sermon on responsibility for others?
It's
Go
a
on.
scope.
Your high horse is waiting.
Points to a credible alternative.
just
to
curious.
crime.
One thing I know about curiosity won't get you shit unless you got the fists and the ass to back it up.
It might sound credible to a jury.
And Munoz comes along and rapes. Still credible.
Maybe not, but I'd err on the
Forget
side
it.
of caution and turn over what we know.
And give
This is
this
about
three-time
Judy's
rapist a chance to bluff the jury.
That can't be a consideration.
Oh, it sure as hell can.
At the risk of committing reversible error? How many times do we want to retry Munoz?
As many times as it takes. We're legally, morally, and ethically entitled to keep this information from him. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Hello. The name is Hands. Mr. Hands. If you're looking for work with a Simca, I'm the man to call.
No, nice to meet you.
All right.
What can you tell us about the DNA semen you found on the dress?
If you have
did a
business,
PCR
you
test.
know my number.
DNA matched the defendants on all 21 combination of genetic markers. And what are the semen on the dress came from other than Mr. Munoz? About 1 in 200. Thank you.
1 in 200 in a city of 8 million? Doesn't sound that impressive. Isn't there a more exact DNA test?
The RFLP, but there wasn't enough semen on the dress to do that test.
Testified that this dress wasn't kept in the police evidence room over the last 30 years. Is that correct?
Yes, it was returned quickly.
So you can't be sure this is the dress Mr. Costello was attacked in, can you?
We have a photograph of the dress taken right after the attack. This appears to be the same dress.
You bet your reputation on
We
it?
must settle our accounts for Sandra Dorset. You did quite well.
I saw from the back.
Friend of yours.
Arm.
Until then.
And then he looked up.
Is the man you saw here today?
Yes. That's him. Sitting right there.
The record shows that the witness pointed at the defendant. Thank you, Mrs. Santoro. No more questions.
I just want to make sure I have this right. After 30 years, your conscience suddenly drove you to call the police?
No, they came to me.
You just volunteered what you knew?
They said I could be charged with contempt if I didn't.
Over the years, read newspaper accounts of the crime. You've seen pictures of my client?
Yeah, I suppose so.
And isn't it possible, under pressure from the police, that you confused those photos with the man that you glimpsed in 1965?
I don't know. I don't think so.
My client should rot in jail just so you can sleep at night?
Well, well.
No more
Who do I spy but thee? In my humble parlor, no less.
Mr. Munoz was
Chicago.
picked up on a
Long
traffic
time
stop
no
for
see.
a broken taillight.
So what brings you
I
here?
searched his car. I found a
Have some
switchblade
outstanding
in the
biz
glove
to
box.
settle. Remember Sandra
I
Dorset?
saw what looked like
And don't
dried
forget
blood on
such
the head.
things, V.
Without revealing the contents of the interrogation,
Here is your
tell us what opinion you formed as to Mr. Munoz's guilt.
I was convinced he was our guy.
Go see a Ripper doctor. They'll weave you a journal imprint that will enable smart gun compatibility.
What convinced you, detective? The fact that he was Puerto Rican?
He fit the description we have.
Hispanic male driving a beige car. How many people fit that very unique profile?
I would know. The witness picked Munoz out of the lineup.
A lineup consisting of my client and 5 Irish cops, is that right?
I didn't ask their ethnic origin. We followed procedure right down the line.
Wouldn't proper procedure have led you to investigate Miss Costello's gambling associates?
No,
How about the fact that you suspected when she was attacked?
the emotions. I wish you didn't tell us.
No, did the 6,000 come in and fire and do significance to you? You think you did so with the intention of ending her pregnancy, is that right?
Facts to support.
Detective, the only reason we have no facts is that you never bothered to collect any. Good job.
You'll have to disclose the greatest father choice. Why is it vilifying her? If we don't call her as a witness, the jury will assume we've got something to hide.
This list. Those the old files.
Did you know that Lil Toto thought that Ichigo and Nell were together? We all know that these two became close immediately after they met. Nell even adored Ichigo so much that it made her jealous on multiple occasions. Nobody ever thought of the relationship as anything more than just something so siblings. That is until Lil Toto met Nell in the light novels. At one point, a very weird group of 20 Captain Class characters joined together to confront the main villain, but before their fight, they had a talk with him. And during said conversation, they all jumped in to defend Ichigo's morals and ideals. This made Little Tato ask Grimjo, and I quote, "Is that Ichigo's plan?" To which Grimjo scoffed and said, "No, Kurosaki's made his evil more happy-go-lucky, while obviously thinking about this ray of sunshine." However, the funniest thing is that this made Little Tato call Ichigo a womanizer. Did you know that Little Tato thought that Ichigo and Nell were together? We all know that these two became close immediately after they met. Nell even adored Ichigo so much that it made Orihime jealous on multiple occasions, but nobody ever thought of their relationship as anything more than just something similar to symbolize. That is until Little Tato met Nell in the light novels. At one point, a very weird group of over 20 Captain-class characters joined together to confront the main villain, but before their fight, they had a talk with him, and during said conversation, Nell jumped into Ichigo's morals and ideals. This made Little Tato ask Grimjo, "Is that Ichigo's plan?" To which Grimjo scoffed and said, "Kurosaki's made his was more happy-go-lucky, while obviously thinking about this ray of sunshine." However, the funniest thing is that this made Little Tato call Ichigo. Did you know that Little Tato thought that Ichigo and Nell were together? We all know that these two became close immediately after they met. Nell even adored Ichigo so much that it made Orihime jealous on multiple occasions, and nobody ever thought of their relationship as anything more than just something similar to symbolize. That is until Little Tato met Nell in the light novels. At one point, a very weird group of over 20 Captain-class characters joined together to confront the main villain. Before their fight, they had a talk with him, and during said conversation, they confronted him with Ichigo's since Little Tato was a joke. Is that Ichigo's plan? Ichigo scoffed and said, "No, Kurosaki's made his evil was more happy-go-lucky, while obviously thinking about this ray of sunshine." However, the funniest thing is that this made Little Tato call Ichigo a womanizer. Did you know that Little Tato thought that Ichigo and Nell were together? We all know that these two became close immediately after they met. Nell even adored Ichigo so much that it made Orihime jealous on multiple occasions, and nobody ever thought of their relationship as anything more than just that is until Little Tato met Nell in the light novels. At one point, a very weird group of over 20 Captain-class characters joined together to confront the main villain, but before their fight, they had a talk with him, and during said conversation, Nell jumped in to defend Ichigo's morals and ideals. This made Little Tato ask Grimjo, and I quote, "Is that Ichigo's plan?" To which Grimjo scoffed and said, "No, Kurosaki's made his evil was more happy-go-lucky, while obviously thinking about this ray of sunshine." However, the funniest thing is that this made Little Tato call Ichigo a womanizer. Did you know that Little Tato thought that Ichigo and Nell were together? We all know that these two became close.
Where the
Oh, but you would like to be the nomad. I agree. You are what? Interesting. The steam machine. You saw that. The steam train. Young man. So, steam machine, you're a PC. PC? It's a concentrator. It's next generation was gonna be there. Let's get too freaking late. You blow your chance with that Xbox satellite movement. And Steam friends, you're just a VR headset? Just a VR headset. Yeah. Do you like flights with these?
Please, can you talk? It is important.
What's important?
I may have found a solution to the problem. I have established a contact with an old friend from Alaska.
What? You mean the kind of good Catholic who gets arrested for bookmaking, who commits adultery with felons?
Objection. Sustained. Sound it down.
I'm not a bad person. But Bobby Farina is. He stabbed you in the stomach and killed your unborn child, didn't he? He is the one who tried to kill. How would you know? You never saw your attacker. When you came to in the hospital, the police told you Sal Munoz was the one. And you went along with it because you knew if you accused Bobby that he would come back and finish the job, wouldn't he? The police framed my client, and you kept your mouth shut for 30 years. Please Even when the police told you that Mr. Farina was a suspect, you still denied knowing him, didn't you? Yeah. Even though you knew the only man with the motive to do this horrible thing to you was Bobby Farina. Isn't that true?
Yeah, that's fine. Marks knows your audience. Could have heard hair growing at your box.
People slow down for traffic accidents. That doesn't mean they approve.
Wishful thinking. She even created doubt.
We draw? Sweet. Fusion deployment. Let's play it and go for our combo. Threatening roar. Okay, never mind. No attacking this turn. I guess we'll just pass back. They set another trap and pass again. Let's draw with chicken game and mystical space typhoon. What is this? 2005? Okay. Summon time wizard and flip a coin. raised its heads, so let's bring in a Dark Sage, and since we already have a way to summon 10k, let's search for Gold Moon Coin. This will let us draw 2 cards by giving our opponent 2 cards from our hand. I guess we may as well make them hold the spell. Total Shambles, let's summon another Dark Magician and sacrifice 2 of our monsters to summon 10,000 Dragon. There's nothing that can stop this attack now, except a magic cylinder. Okay. Oh, take that back. I think we're the ones who should be holding that L.
He's here in Night City now. He's well connected to certain influential people.
That's gonna help us, Kate. Exactly.
There will be a meeting. You, me, and this friend of mine. You will tell him what you told me.
Listen to me, Chucker. The next time we need that kind of power, the world gets to be the power. So I'll warn you. Power gives you one heck of a hangover. Oh, speaking of power, we're probably sure with crazy, huh? I'm shocked. I wouldn't have thought that a pasty from decades ago would still work. I guess we should thank your old man for his quick thinking over here with the back of his bed. I think you're right. First time, grateful. Stink. You know, your son only talks bad about you.
Follow the to protect us up.
Sleeping out here, let's see the. It's just slumped.
He's the Green Lantern's didn't trust his ring, so he carried a gun. Simon Bass grew up in Dearborn, Michigan, an Arab-American kid who watched 9/11 on TV and saw the world suddenly face fears like him. Years later, after losing his auto-mechanic job, he stole a van to get by, only to discover it was packed with a bomb. He drove it away to save others and still got branded a terrorist. That's when the impossible happened. The ring, once shared by Hal Jordan and Sinestro, fused and chose him. Baz became DC's first Muslim-American Green Lantern, a man who fought fear with faith, carried both willpower and a weapon, and helped rebuild the Corps alongside Jessica Cruz. Simon Baz proves you don't have to be perfect to be worthy, you just have to keep your light when the world tries to snuff you out.
There are 4 vehicles that nobody drives in GTA Online, and here's why. The Chernobyl. This is a criminally underrated vehicle for air defense, but it's also completely suboptimal for solo players, as another player needs to man the missile rack and its armor is basically non-existent, so make one mistake and you'll pop like a pinata. The Future Shock ZR380. It's fast, it can tank 4 homing missiles, and is impervious to bullets from the front, as well as having dual-mounted machine guns. But you need an arena to own this thing, and nobody really cares about the arena these days. The Stromberg. It's like the Toreador, but you can use it in missions. The Nagasaki Havoc. It's small, it's cute, but it's also overpriced at $2.3 million for what's essentially a fan with a seat bolted to it, and the 3-barrel machine gun and excellent agility do make it worth it, but then you remember that the Sparrow exists. If we want to throw in one more as a bonus, it's the Mule Custom. That thing is just absolutely awful.
It proves that Garp is the wisest Marine, because after he safely escorted the Neptune family back to Fishman Island following the end of the reverie, Garp starts talking about the state of the world. Now watch as he drops the biggest truth bomb by doing this.
When you have 50 heads of state in the same room, you can't expect them to get along. Each country is only thinking about their own problems. Major powers will stare each other down and let the smaller nations squabble over this and that. If you've got the resources and technology, you're the shot caller. They say all countries are equal. Those words never hold any weight. As long as there are wealth and religious differences, there will never be true equality, unfortunately. When it's time to shake, they grin and stomp each other's feet under the table. These rulers can speak for themselves, but can they speak for all their citizens or the citizens of other nations? A round table is nothing but he will be convinced that it will be a start. At the end of the day,
Fine. Where's the meeting one?
Garp is the wisest Marine, because after he safely escorted the Neptune family back to Fishman Island following the end of the reverie, he starts talking about the state of the world. Now watch as he drops the biggest truth bomb by doing this.
when you have 50 heads of state in the same room, you can't expect them to get along. Each country is only thinking about their own problems.
Major powers will stare each other down and let the smaller nations squabble over this and that. If you've got the resources and technology, you're the shot caller. They say all countries are equal. Those words never hold. As long as there are wealth and religious differences, there will never be true equality.
Have some outstanding
But
bits
it's
to
time to
celebrate.
shake. They
Remember
grant and
Sandra
smoke each
Dorsey?
other. Rumors can speak for themselves, but
This is why you should never challenge your teacher to a game with your homework on the line. Because in this class, if a student could beat the teacher at rock, paper, scissors, the entire class got to walk off.
if yours jams up, his antique will still be fired. So that's all the bonus stuff. It's not how many raids, where they go. Come on, reel it in.
This is why you should never change these off. And the last one is bigger than your car. Number 3.
These goggles, the lenses are
Tasmania
overstored.
and southern Australia, this crab can weigh up to 29 pounds with a maximum of 18 inches. These trains are known
Here is your
What the hell is CSU? You want to secure that door?
The coconut crab can weigh up to 9 pounds and stretch over 3 feet in length. It's famous for its incredible strength. Open coconuts with its claws. And before I reveal the last, if you love animals, like and subscribe. Now let's dive in. Number 1, the Japanese spider crab. Meet the largest crab in the world, with a leg span reaching up to an astonishing 12 feet. Found in the waters around Japan, these crabs are known for their long, spider-like legs. But don't be fooled by their intimidating size. They're actually gentle giants, slowly scavenging along the ocean floor. These are the 3 largest crabs in the world, and the last one is bigger than your car. Number 3, the Tasmanian giant crab. Found off the coast of Tasmania and southern Australia, this
I'll take your word for it.
The only natural cause that kills a healthy young horse in its stall is colic. That's a blocked valve. Mr. Whippets wasn't blocked. I only left him alone for an hour. He was fine when I left. He was a wonderful horse.
Yes, look, I'm sorry for your loss, but this is really a case for the ASPCA. You two call somebody, huh?
He was worth $500,000. Does that make him important enough?
Look, miss, I thought these horses were giving kids rides at the park.
He was a fair horse. Our truck from a farm in Pennsylvania broke down on the way to Massachusetts. He was only here for the night.
It's a rough time for tourists.
Horse worth a $500,000. Something's not right. Staying for one night? Well, show horses worth does worth a lot of money. Okay. Someone messed with that horse.
Already? Sure got that ear to the ground.
Siempre. Anyway, you need something. You know where to find me.
System trainer. She works for the owner, Richard Branson.
I didn't become a detective to investigate dead animals.
Oh, come on, bro.
What am I, some kind of trainee program?
You got your assignment, detective.
Fine. You want me to question the horse's friends and neighbors? Find out if maybe he was having some problems in his love life? It's a nothing case.
Say something one time.
Right. One beautiful afternoon at Belmont Park, I whittled an exact which is 3. So after that, I took an interest in his career. He retired to stud, and he died of a line fire. It happens.
Do a background check before you see the owner.
Members of our association tend to be well-to-do. Horse showing isn't a hobby for postal clerks.
How about a postal clerk with a great horse?
How's he going to feed it? Train it, transport it. Richard Branson had the resources, and he thought Mr. Wickets had talent. I mean, a horse is no horse. Hardly. This one has excellent conformation, beautiful hip and shoulder angles. Branson bragged that he spotted him across the field on a farm in Putnam County. He bought him on the spot for his daughter to ride.
Ransom is your coach.
Fine, so they lived happily ever after.
Actually, no. It turned out that Mr. Wicket's had a habit of trucking up thing. Took down rails with the jumps. Wasn't this maybe a little embarrassing for Mr. Grace? He predicted that Mr. Wickets would take his daughter to the junior nationals. He has other work since, but still he had to be disappointed.
I apologize for this daughter calling which must have been hysterical. Actually, she's a great song. In her first impression, she said it's game to basic. She ran me on her face and she wanted to have there. Something, so she ran this whole thing about the colony. She was to understand that I'm not married. Well, it's not about your losses. Pretty calm about it yourself.
I don't know about it, but my daughter has got to say it. Losing Mr. Wickets was like losing a member of the family.
Mr. Branson, Mr. Bennett said he needs to talk to you before your board meeting tomorrow.
Meetings? Leaving Mr. Wickets had some problems.
John, this experience is getting better every week. Could you tell us there was the horse and shoe? Lots of casualty.
Not if you'll excuse me.
People who kill horses for insurance money used to use barbiturates. And we developed a test for that. They switched to insulin, we got a test for that.
What now? Letter bombs?
Ping pong balls. They shove up the horse's nostrils so we can't breathe. Kicks, scratches, gasping for air. It can go on for 10 or 15 minutes. Or there's electrocution. You wire him up with one end of his rectum and the other down his throat and throw a switch. It's less painful, and it looks like colic.
You think somebody threw the switch at us?
Let's operate on the basis of what we think, only what we know. The horse from Bates going to the Cornell Veterinary College isn't a four-day pro se.
Took me an hour to stop crying.
Where are you calling from?
I'm fine in Pennsylvania. We were both going to fly to Boston today. The show starts tomorrow.
He was going with you.
Yes, I'd never compete without him there. Why?
We just need to make sure of the facts. Mr. Wickets was very valuable.
They told me it was colic.
Were there any signs that he was sick?
No. I should have noticed. Mr. Wickets and I, we communicated through our phones.
When was the last time you wrote him?
The day before he died. He seemed fine. I'm sorry, because it's just kind of hard for me to realize that he's gone. I think about it, so.
Ransom and the killer host. For me, was doing her a favor.